So hello viewers, very good afternoon to you all, and you are welcome to this machine learning part 3, and we are going for a case study, that is credit card fraud detections. As you know that fraud in credit card transaction is unauthorized and unwanted usage of an account by someone other than the owner of that account. And here the issuing authorities are unaware of the fact that the card is being used. That is the main thing, and this is a very relevant problem that demands the attention of communities such as machine learning, data science, for the solutions to this program or this problem can be automated. That is the main thing in this credit card automation detection system. Then we will be following a number of steps for these things, and as I told you that we are continuing the machine learning part 3. In this machine learning part 3, this is a case study, and here these are the following steps we will be following. One is the data collection, then the data representations like the feature engineering, then data visualization. Then we have to go for a model using some of the algorithm like logistic regression or the random forest classifier, decision tree classifier, k nearest neighbors, uh, XGBoost. Okay, these are some of the things. There are number of things, but we will be using these are the algorithms for thing. Then in this case study, I will be using my operating system is Windows 10, and I will be using Python 3.9 and libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, scikit-learn, and a framework we are using Jupyter Network. And if you see this, the basic architecture that is represented with the diagram, you can see it here the end user or with the credit card and all things is trying it here, and the information is going to the server, then the bank, the ledger and all things there, then the backend server where the database everything is there also there. Then you are coming to the banking details, you are getting it there, and you are going for this encryption. We are applying some of the algorithm machine learning engine and algorithm we are applying it here. Then uh, if it is okay, if it is the is okay, then it is success. If it is a fraud, then it will stop you or it will block you here. Okay, this is the thing, the basic architecture representation with the diagram, or if you can enlarge, you can see it here, starting from this credit card here. So whether the transaction is a success, it is not a fraud, or if it is a fraud, then it is to be blocked. Okay, this is the idea of implementing in this one. Then we are going for the different algorithms we will be using in this paper. In this year, we are going for like logistic regression, we are going for decision tree classifier, random forest classifier, k nearest neighbors, and also XGBoost. These are the things it is used in this case study what I am telling to you. Then third thing, we are going for the algorithm steps. What are the steps we are following for this algorithm? First of all, we take some data sets. From the data set, we can get it here from the kaggle.com, and you can have the credit card fraud or credit card .csv file. You can download it here, and we can read the data set. Then random sampling is done on the data set to make it balanced. Then we can divide the data set into two parts, that is the train data set and test data set. Then we go for some feature selections that are applied on these proposed models. Then we go for the like the accuracy and performance matrices that have been calculated to know the efficiency for different algorithms. Then retrieve the best algorithm based on efficiency for the given data set. So this is the thing, the process or the steps we have to follow for doing all the things. And what we have done in this project and what is our achievement? Here the machine learning techniques like logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, then XBoost, k nearest neighbor, k neighbor. Okay, these are used to detect the fraud in credit card system, and accuracy and error rate are also used to evaluate the performance for this proposed system. And accuracy for logistic regression, then the decision tree and random forest classifier, etc., are all seen above. So by comparing all this method, it has found that XGBoost classifier is better than all. In this scenario, it was XGBoost. It is not that always it will be there like that. So this is the thing. Now, if you show in details what are the steps we follow, you can see that the following are the steps used to solve this problem. First, you go for the data pre-processing tool. Then you go for the model representation. What are the different algorithm we'll be using? Then importing the libraries. Then importing the data set. Here we have taken credit card .csv file. Then encoding and encoding categorical data. So if any things are like that, that will be converted to number system. Then encoding the independent variable, because what we do, we divide into independent and dependent variable. For example, the entire table we divide this one as x and something as y. So x is the independent variable and y is depending on that one. So just to give the input x, then we can get all the details y. Okay, write that one. So here in this thing, the dependent variable, it will be like that, whether this is a transaction is a fraud or anything like that. That is the dependent variable. Then extracting features and levels, that we can do it here. Taking care of missing data also we can do, and splitting the data set into training set and testing, that we can do. Feature scaling, the training the model on training set, then predicting the test set results. So all the things are to be taken care here by this. Okay. Then once it is over, then we move to, because what are the different algorithm I told you that machine learning are there. I think we must have some minimum idea about that one. That I am going to discuss about the machine learning algorithm. So first of all, I am going for this logistic regression algorithm. In the logistic regression, what happens? It is used to create a binary classifier that is optimized on our training dataset, and the logistic regression function from sklearn library is used to create and train our classifier. That is the first one. It is the logistic regression algorithm. Then I am going for the support vector machine training algorithm. It builds a model that assigns some data point to one class or the other, and the SVM model is the representation of sample points in n-dimensional space and mapped so that examples of different classes are divided by a clear boundary or gap that is that as wide as possible. This is the thing in support vector machine. The test is on scene examples are then mapped to the same space belonging to one category or the other based on which side of this boundary cell. So that means a clear boundary will there, something will be falling to one boundary, one side, another one. This boundary solve both linear and nonlinear classification and problems based on the kernel methods used for training. A support vector classifier is created using the SVC function in the sklearn library. Also, we are using the sklearn library for that purpose, right? So this is the two things we discussed. Then we are going for the feed-forward architectural artificial neural network. As you know, this feed-forward artificial neural network, or we call it the multi-layer perceptron, or we also call it the multi-layer artificial neural network. Same. Okay. This can be used to solve the non-linearly separable data points. It consists of at least 3 layers of nodes. One is the input layer, one is the hidden layer, and the other one is the output layer. And our model will be created using the Keras API of the TensorFlow library. And the model will be made of 2 hidden layers with 600 nodes in the first layer and 300 nodes in the second layer, an input layer of 1000 nodes from our trained dataset features, and an output layer of one node having a binary predictions of 1 or 0. So it is a fraud, it is 1, it is not fraud, it is 0. And the activation used for these first 2 hidden layers are rectified linear unit, and for the output layer, it is sigmoid functions will be using, giving a probability of what the binary output will be. And the optimization technique used for this back propagation will be the Adam optimization, which is precisely a complicated and adaptive version of the stochastic gradient descent. Okay, these are the things I am talking about, the feed-forward artificial neural network, all things. Then another thing, we are going for the recurrent. The recurrent, it is the yeah, this is we will have some idea out here. The recurrent neural network, or RNN, it is a powerful and robust type of neural networks and belong to the most promising algorithm out. There is a moment because they are the only ones with an internal memory. In the recurrent means it is repeating, so they have the internal memory. Because of their internal memory, RNNs are able to remember important things about the input they receive, and which enables them to be very precise in predicting what's coming next. And this is the reason why they are the preferred algorithms for sequential data like the series, the time series, the speech, text, financial data, audio, video, weather, and much more, because they can form a much deeper understanding of a sequence and its context compared to other algorithms, right? So this traditional neural network cannot do this, and it seems like a major shortcomings. It is unclear how a traditional neural network could use its reasoning about previous events in the film to inform later ones, and recurrent neural networks addresses this issue, and they are networks with loops in them, that means repeating and allowing information to persist. So this is the some of the things I discussed. Then we are going for the last one, that is the KG boot. Okay, In the XGBoost, this is the last algorithm we will be discussing in the this XGBoost is an algorithm that has recently been dominating applied machine learning and Kaggle computations for structured or tabular data. And XGBoost is an implementation of gradient boosted decision. So you can see gradient, you get it, gradient boosted decision trees designed for speed and performance. That will be using, I already used in our thing. So these are the some of the important things we will be using. Then we'll be going for I think the logistic, all the things we have covered all now. So then we move to our implementations. For the implementations, what do we do? We can see it here. I have taken this one, and I told you that we need to install the Anaconda. In this Anaconda, just to type the Jupyter notebook. Once you type the Jupyter notebook, and what I created before that, I'll tell you. I have already have a folder that is the fraud detections. You can check it here. In the fraud detections, what is my program? I already have written and already executed there also. You can see the credit card fraud detections .ipynd. This is already existing. Okay, so the same thing, you remember that we are having the fraud detections credit card. This is the folder which is there on the desktop I created, and using this I'm talking the Jupyter notebook. So we are entering here, and we are going to import the number of libraries, like import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, import matplotlib, all this library, import cburn as sns. So all the things, and import warning also, this thing. Then we create a data frame. First, what do we want to read this credit card.csv file, because it is already downloaded. It is there, I think some good MB of 75 MB like that. So then how to read that one? Now PD, what is the PD? PD is for panda. Okay. So PD dot read underscore CSV. There, what is the file name? File name is credit card.csv, and that I assign to a data frame is DF. Then if you want to see some of the important, some 5 number of rows and all the things, then you can go for df.head. So there you are able to see, and you can see there are 5 number of rows and 32 columns are there. And if you want the information about the data frame, we are giving this command like df.info. With this method, we can see. So we are having the different things like time, and what is the columns, different columns are we are having. I think we are having 31 columns we are having. Then what is the non-null, what is the count, what is the data type. Say for example time, the data type we have given float 64. Like that different data type will be there. Say for example class, it is integer 64. So all the things it is there. Okay, then we can check it with the different colors. The SNS, the C1 SNS dot heatmap. So df dot is null. Then here I am using CMAP is plasma. I am using the color plasma. Plasma is the color what you can see in either red nor violet, like that one color is there. And this is no, this color is there. It will, when you see the 00, it is there, no. So there is no fraud. There is no fraud. Okay. So this is the color you can see it, and the time I am putting V1, V2 up to class, everything it is there also. Okay. Then count plot class data. So what are the frauds are there, that is represented by this thing also, here you can see. Then if you see, I am using it here, you can see the access subplot. In the access I am using access 1 and access 2, plot subplot to 1, that I am serex to, then subplot amount per transaction. What is the that this is the title. So title, the title means amount per the title, this is the title, it is coming. Okay, so you can write it here, subtitle amount per transactions by class. Then what I am doing, so if fraud is there, then it is the DF class that it is putting to fraud. If it is 1, if it is 0, it is showing normal. So means I am putting 50 x, I am going for a histogram draw, that I am going for fraud. So how many fraud cases are there? What is the amount? That amount and means I am putting it here. So you can see it here. The fraud case, it is very less number of amount is there, so it is given there. But when it is normal, you can see normal, then you can see the histogram also, it is done here. Then everything I have run it here. Just you can just for running, you know, I already told you what to do. Just click it here and control enter. Then it is running, and give it here. You can check all the things. Or you want, I'll show you also. Then you give a fraud shape. You can give the 492 by 31 is there. Then the normal dot shape also. The fraud means how many rows it is there. The fraud cases are there, and how many total number of rows it is there. You get it there. Then what we do? We can divide what is x and what is y. So I drop that class 1. What is the class means whether it is a fraud, it is not a fraud. that will be the output that I put it as the y, and the remaining I put it the x, and then I just see the df. The df you can see the entire data set is here, and if you want to check at the end you can find the class is there. Yeah, class is there. Okay, all 0 0 means these are all I think that non-fraud cases, right? Then what I do, then I go for the train and test. So usually for testing I am taking 20% of the data, and training I am putting 80%. So for that what I do, test at 0.2, and you put x underscore train, x underscore test, y underscore train, y underscore test, train test. This is the thing you are using some of the thing there. From also we are getting this train and test split. Okay, then linear model we are using here first time from sklearn linear underscore model, import logistic regression. Okay, so sklearn linear model, the logistic regression first one applying, then reg is the logistic regression, then regression, reg dot fit x train y train, the entire data I am taking it here, then logistic regression here, and y predictions I am also x test data I am giving it here because 20% data I have taken it here, the same thing. And this from sklearn matrices import, this is only used for accuracy score and all things. Then with the CM a confusion matrix is created, you can see array this number of rows and columns is there, the data type already given. Then while you are going for accuracy underscore y test and y predict, so the accuracy is showing 0.99, you can see this value. So this is there in the logistic regression. Like that also I can go for decision tree, the same thing is done here. In the decision tree they characterize the entropy and random states there. So y underscore predict, see here previously what I have taken, y underscore predict, here y predict 1. So this is reg predict x dot test, and here same thing, here also I am getting the array, and here get the accuracy something it is coming like this. Then I am going for the random forest classifier. Here if you see y predict 2, the same thing I am getting, and I am trying to do all these things, then it is getting the array it is here, and accuracy test also it is coming something like this. Then I am going for this k neighbors, nearest neighbor, what is the thing classifier there, then I am using it there, near classifier I am using, then y underscore predict 3, here also I am getting the array like this, and also the accuracy I get it here from this point. Then finally I am going for this x boost. So initially what happened, this is to be downloaded and installed by default. If any problem is there, then you can also reinstall this XBoost, because in my case it did not take automatically. Again I had to second time install this XBoost. Okay, so this library after installing from XBoost, import a XGBoost classifier, then this is the model, then model fit run and all the things I put it here, then predict test, and again the accuracy test I have done, and finally I have taken the printout of this accuracy. It is showing 0.99. If you see among this accuracy, this is the best accuracy. That's why from this it is observed that this XGBoost it is there. Okay, so if you want to run this program, say if you want to say, sir, you have not shown the execution. Yes, I am showing you from this beginning. So it is there. So control enter. So this is showing O1. So this is there. So I am importing everything. Control enter. It is showing to it is running. You can see the star math is running. So it is successfully run. Then if I want to show the data frame I want to create, so control enter. You see it is still running. Now it is assigned the data frame. Yeah, it is 3 is also successful running. Then df head, control enter. Now it takes some night. Now you can see it is running. You can see it is done 5 number over 31 columns is there. Then if you can see 4 are successful run. Then while you are going for this 5, then control enter, you can see it is also running successfully. You have seen the information. Then I am going for this SNS heat map with this plasma colors, control enter also. So you can see yeah, it is coming, it takes some time, it is running. You can see the star assignment is running. 4 3 2 1 0. Okay, it has come, right? So then we are going for this is this is the normal cases, but while I am going the fraud cases, control enter, that you can see in the blue color it is also represented there. Then in 8, so now I have to plot all these things, what is the amount for transaction in fraud and normal it is there. You can see a lot of transaction is there, but while fraud you can see very less amount of fraud are done there. So this also using this plot, so control enter, you can see it is running 5 4 3 2 1. Yeah, it has run. Then in the 9, then I am defining all the things. If it is 1, then it is fraud. If it is normal, it is equal to 0. Then control enter. You can see it here. Yeah, it has run successfully. Then fraud shape, it will come the same thing. Control enter. Yeah, it has come same for 92 and 31. The normal shape also, control enter. I put it here. It is still same. And if I am going for this DF, because the entire thing from the sklearn, I am going for this input. What I did it here, I separated what is x and y. X is remaining, y is only I am taking the class. Okay. So that what I want class, that I drop it here, df data frame dot drop. That means from this entire table I remove this class that is assigned to x, and class itself I put it y. Okay. Then I go for the df here. Then extend all that. This is the 20% I am giving for the testing. Then once you put it here, yeah, so 13, yeah, it is there. So control enter, you can find it here. Yeah, 11, yeah, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12 is there. Why do you have to tell very soon? Okay, fine, leave it, no problem. No, before that you have to run this one, I think. So 11 it was there. Then df control enter. Yeah, 13 is there. Then this one should be there. Control enter. Fine, it is okay. Then while you are going for this import the logistic regression, okay, this also you can run. Control enter. Yeah, it has run fine. 4 3 2 1 0. You can see the star is there, it is running. When it is complete, it is print. It is also successful run. Output it has come. Then in the y prediction first case also, control enter. Yeah, it has run successfully. Then this one also I am trying to run. Control enter. It is also running successfully. You can see the output it is coming. Then here also first case I want to the logistic regression. I want to see the output. It is coming the same thing. Then I am running the number 18. Here I am going for this dysentery. Okay. In the dysentery I go for this control enter. You can see it here. It is fine. 5 4 3 2 1 and 0 is still running. You can see it takes some time because in the dysentery it will apply. It takes some time. Okay. So anyway, it will just give me less than 1 minute time. It will come. So when it is run, it will be auto. Yeah, it is a successful run. Then in the y prediction for the dysentery also, control enter. You can see the same thing. It is coming. No problem. Then accuracy, we want to measure it here. Then control enter. With this, the accuracy also it has come. Then from the sklearn, I am going for the random forest. Control, yeah, control enter. It has come successfully. Running. It is running. You can check it here. So 5 4 3 2 1 and 0. Still it is running. So I thought within 5 seconds it will run, but it taking some more time. So don't worry, it will come. So once it is over here, then we can go for the prediction also, prediction 2. Okay, still it is running because it has to import the random forest classifier. It takes some time. You don't worry for that one because the things that are there is there. Entropy are using and random state is also 0. It takes some around 1 minute time it will take. Okay, don't nothing to worry. Then what we do, just after that we go for the prediction 2 and also find this RSCM confusion matrix. Once it is there, yeah, 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 and 0. Still it is running. So I failed 2 times, but still it is running. Don't confuse, it is running because it takes some time, as I told you that. So until it runs, we cannot go to the next one. So you have to wait with patience for 1 minute. So once it is over, then I think we can go for so still it is running. Okay, I think we don't have much. Yeah, it's there. So it takes some, the random forest classification, it takes some time and it is still running. and each cases you can also see the accuracy. The first case some accuracy is coming, second case also. Okay. Don't worry, it will running, and this case while you are running this one, you will get the array like that 5 feet. These are things you will get it there, and the data type you are also getting the input to integer 64. Then accuracy score also it is once you run this one, it is coming this one. Then next immediately you are going for this k neighbors. In the k neighbors, nearest neighbor, it is also you run this one, it is running. Then we go for the same in predict 3. We use the regression dot predict x test, and all things you get still it is running. Okay, nothing to worry. Then same process, because what we did for regression, the same thing we do it for all these things. Then accuracy you are getting here also something like that. Then so everything we have completed successfully. Okay, so in this way we'll be able to do the entire process. Yeah, still it is running, you can see it takes some time. So now I hope you if you are able to understand this thing, we are able to get, and if you compare all the things, you will find the accuracy and other things it is maximum in the case of XGBoost. That is the reason I have given you the statement that in this case the XGBoost has given better result. That is the thing. So our main concept here, what is there, we applied some machine learning algorithm here, and our data set we have taken, and all this procedure what I have given, and the coding also I will share with you. You can have the coding from this GitHub, as well as also you can know the procedure also. I'll be giving the link to you. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and if you really like this video, please share with your friends, and also don't forget to just subscribe. Okay, yeah, let me check whether still it is running. Okay, so let us check because we are helpless. Still it is running. Okay, so like this, and thank you for watching this video, and if you really like, please share with your friends, and take care of your health.